Notice all the light is on edge.
What'd you do now?
Instead of Ed, I got in there. No, no. Well, that's not what I do.
Should be late there on the damn funeral. Should be late there on the damn funeral.
Well, that's right or wrong.
So you need to tell her like an hour beforehand so she'll be on time. Which one?
All right, everyone, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
How much in Martha?
It's too cold.
You guys had a chance to look over the minutes from the previous meeting?
I did, and I will, I don't see any corrections. I'll move to accept the meetings from July 24th as written.
I'll second.
And I vote yes.
Roll call Tiffany, yes. Ed?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Financial report.
I see no corrections or additions. I will move to accept the financial report for July 2023 as written.
I vote yes.
Roll call Tiffany, yes. Ed?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Communications, Kristy.
I have none for,
You have none?
no.
All right.
That's a first.
Yeah. I was going to bring this up under the fire department. We have a couple resignations from the fire department, and some are kind of long, lengthy rants. I don't know that we have to read these at a public meeting, so I'm not going to say we're not going to read them, but but I will say I'm not going to read them at this meeting. I'm going to check with the prosecutor to see if we have to. If we do, I will read them at the next meeting. And we'll bring up who the resignations are when we get into the fire department. Again, I'm not saying we won't read them, but I'm going to check with the prosecutor before I do to see if I have to read long ranks in a resignation letter. Maybe we do. If we do next meeting, I will read them in full in their entirety. Fire department.
For the month of July, we had 34 medical calls, 8 of which were motor vehicle accidents, 1 water call. To date, we're at 317 calls. We have given mutual aid 15 times, we received mutual aid 18 times for July. Under new business, in your packet, there's a thing for a fan.
I got nothing.
Oh, the packets, I think are still in the phone. Okay, let me grab it.
Oh, he laid it in there for us.
What you can, the background is the State Farm Board of Pharmacy came in, did an inspection of our station. They said that we need to be more compliant with temperature regulation. We do have heat for the wintertime. Outside that day it was 92 degrees, inside the station it was 86 degrees. So we met with UH Portage and asked them for some suggestions on how they do with their drugs throughout the county. And they seem to think that if we just put a commercial fan up in the corner, that would suffice everything in the first place. So Lowe's has a commercial fan for $175.90. Like to see us purchase that so we go into compliance.
Wall mount, or is that wall mount?
That is a wall mount.
Could this print me in?
I could not hear you.
I'm squinting because the print is really small.
Best I can get it to print out. I just printed it right off the Lowe's website.
Is this something they have installed?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we purchase this fan and we'll get it mounted up there and see if it helps cool it down in that room.
Yeah, I'll second.
Yes,
Roll call, Tiffany.
Yes.
Yes.
Mark.
yes.
And the cost of the fan was $175.90.
Second thing I'm working on is, Assistant Chief Day and I have been working on a maintenance program for the trucks. Being that we are not actually certified, no members on our department are certified to work on the diesel mechanics and stuff like that. We'd like to see if we could have the trucks go to K&D Towing, which we have a contract with anyhow, to get the oil change and the filter change, so we could keep everything up to date where we need to be.
And when they're in there, they would check over the belts, check over the brakes, check over the tires, all that. They would do a safety check on each individual truck and they are certified mechanics.
We were doing that in-house before.
Depending on what it was.
Or we kind of weren't.
We would change the oil in the house before and filter stuff like that. Brake work, we never did. It always went to a trucking company somewhere, just because we didn't have anybody who could do the brake work. So this guy will do all of that for us, and we'll have a record then of each individual truck, when it's done, what all it's done, so everything.
And they're certified, so it would
Yep.
hold up with all our warranties for new vehicles, new ATV, all of that.
Yep, new vehicles, I'll take back to the dealer, but these are older farm equipment and stuff that we do have to keep up on and everything.
It's important to keep up on the maintenance. That sounds reasonable.
We really can't put a dollar figure on what it's going to cost because each truck gets different.
Each one will be different.
Are they competitive with prices? Or
Yes.
We've gotten some quotes and we're.
Yes, they've done a lot of work for us in the past, and they've come in right where we need them to be for pricing and everything.
I don't have a problem.
And they're local, they're a 10-minute drive,
Where are they?
Alliance.
Okay, that sounds good.
I'll make a motion, we start our maintenance program up with K&D Trucking, who I did talk to, and he said, come in, give me more information. Well, yes, I can do that for you, he said.
I'll second.
Yes.
Roll call, Tiffany.
Yes.
Ed.
Yes.
Yes.
We had a big barn fire in mutual aid with Palmyra, three-quarters of the county this week. And during that, we developed a hole in the part section which pulls the water out of the drop tanks into our truck to supply the water. So I'm asking for a new hose, is $775 for a 12-foot section of hose that we need to repair that. And then speaking of Captain Allison, he said the other one section we have is just about bore through as well because they are old. I'd like to see if we could purchase 2 of them to replace.
I don't ever remember purchasing that prior to this. I've never heard about them going back before because what little units.
We're replacing the entire hose or just a section to make repairs?
It's one 12-foot section.
But it's the one that attaches to the truck, right? So we have to have that individual hose to hook everything else up to.
And the rest of the hose is still in good working order?
So far.
We only have 2 sections on that truck.
Okay. Well, you need hoses.
You want to get 2 of it? You want to get 2 of them?
I would suggest that the other ones.
Might as well if it's worn.
They're available.
Yes.
I will make a motion we purchase those 2 hoses for the pumper truck.
I'll second.
Yes.
At a cost of $775 a piece.
Roll call Tiffany.
Yes.
Ed.
Yes?
Mark.
Yes.
And that quote is in your packet.
Well, yeah.
What's the
I only found
packet?
one packet.
I don't have a packet.
I only found one packet.
One was on the desk, and one was on the ship.
Did you get the one that was on the desk? You got 2 of them?
All right, Chief, then you're gonna have to start handing them directly to me because they never make it down this far to me.
And you like the next one.
Jeez.
Oh.
Where are those hoses coming from?
MES, the fire company.
Thank you.
I don't think we have any, I'm just trying to think off the top of my head if the safer grant allows any equipment, but I think it's mostly PPE and not truck equipment. Okay.
I wanted to have, we could do that.
Right.
Couldn't figure out how we could.
Yeah, off the top of my head, I don't think so. It was just brainstorming.
The next thing is I'm asking for up to $800 for promotional products. We have community events coming up. We'd like to stuff to pass out to the kids. There's an apple butter festival coming up. And we're going to be taking blood pressures and being part of the community, we'd like to be able to get stuff out to the kids. See if we can find some blood pressure cards that range blood pressure, that kind of stuff. So,
Plastic fire hoses for the kids, maybe fire-related coloring books, crayons. We've done that in the past, whatever they want to do. I know you do an educational day at the local schools and everything, that you take materials with you. We've done that before. We haven't bought any for a while.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
I'll make a motion that we approve up to $800 for promotional products for the fire department.
I'll second.
Yes.
Number 5 on the list is I'd like to order some T-shirts for the members. We're lacking them now because most of them have been given out. I've checked with 3 places, and the best price I can find right now is $12 a shirt. I thought that was pretty reasonable. And I'm asking for 25 shirts just so we can pass out to employees who have them.
I'm good with that. I think we proved this before. But
We did.
we did. We approved it before.
Well, we'll make a motion to approve this.
Now, this is something we may be able to take out of the safer grant.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll make a motion. We go ahead and do the 25 to 12.
I'll second.
Yes?
Roll call Tiffany.
Yes.
Ed.
Yes.
Mark.
Yes.
Number 6 on the list. I just want to explain to the trustees and to the community about what we do on water rescue calls on some of them. There's been some questions. A week or so ago, we went out in the middle of the night to assist 4 stranded boaters, 4 stranded people on one boat. We went out, they called ODNR first. ODNR says, we can't come out and get you off the boat, but don't swim to shore. Call your fire department. We had them try, we gave them some numbers of different tow boat places that we knew of. They would not come out or answer the phone at that time of night. So we, along with Lexington Fire, went out and pulled the 4 people off the boat, put them in our boat securely, got them to shore, left the boat there. Notified ODNR and Portage County SO and Stark County SO that the boat was going to remain there. So I just wanted to explain to everybody what we do, that we will help somebody get off the boat, because I don't want them swimming.
No.
It's too dangerous. We would rather go out and bring them in to shore. We'll leave their boat there because we're not in the towing business. So I just wanted to inform everybody what we're doing with that aspect, so.
Because we couldn't respond to every tow that needed to be.
Well, I think the dispatch was told that any boat that broke down, run out of gas, they're called John, one of them was John Stowing. I think that was the first call that they were, dispatch was supposed to give them to.
Can't take the truck out of the lake.
2 boats on the lake.
What's that?
They can't take the truck out in the lake.
Why not?
Yeah,
Might be able to.
Could.
John said he's got 2 boats on the lake.
You gonna wake John, you gonna wake John up at 2 o'clock in the morning?
And then the other one would be Dutch Harbor.
They tried to call Dutch Harbor that night and no
Right.
answer.
Well, the people are the important thing. Take care of the people who will be addressed later.
There were 2 juveniles, 20-some-year-old and a 30-year-old. And they were very appreciative. We got them off the boat because they didn't know what to do. I just wanted everybody to know, so that we'll go out and help bring people out, but we're not helping the boats.
Good enough, thank you.
Number 6, a piece of equipment that we were looking for that we do not have, and we do not have a jet. It's called a jet siphon float strainer. It hooks on to go from one tank to the next tank. We'd like to look at purchasing one of them, and also a ramp tool. We're doing more and more auto accidents, and a ramp tool is in conjunction with the new equipment that we just got from the donations and stuff. It helps us extricate people out of cars, helps separate things out. For the 3 items there that we're asking for, it's $7,685. It's a lot of money. Like going on the report, last month we only ran out $8 extra. So where they, a lot of departments around town, maybe there's avenues that we can find money to help with that. I'm not sure, but there's something I would like to see if we can come up with some ideas to try to figure out.
So the new one that we haven't put that in service yet, correct?
It is now in service.
Is it?
They put it in service.
And it's, we're all trained on it?
That we are not. We had a training session, you know, only 3 people showed up, so the 3 people were trained on it so far.
And that doesn't do everything we need it to do?
No, it's just a spreader to open like car doors and stuff, and to like move the dash up or to help get space so we can, to get the person out of the car, we'll not do that. It is a valuable tool. Brian, you guys use one in Palmyra or Berlin?
We have them in Palmyra. We don't have the battery powered one. We have hydraulic powered ones. We use them quite often over there. It helps stabilize cars. It helps stabilize, anything in general that you're trying to lift up. If you're trying to peel the dash back, you can put a chalk in there and peel the dash back to extricate somebody out of the department area.
Is there any other prices we can get other than,
That was the one that Chief Dave forwarded to me today. I don't know who, he checked with 2 companies, and to be compatible with our tool is how he came up with that. Because if you notice on there, the Hearst battery and the charger, that we can just use the tool that we just got, battery and charger, so we don't have to buy that items. That saves roughly $2,000 by going with that tool.
I think we have several tools we use the same batteries for, is that correct?
Yeah, the cutter and the spreader will use the same
The cutter
battery
and
as that.
spreader too. Could you get us a little bit more information about this? Maybe get us some quotes?
And maybe there's something we need to talk to our grant writer about, for maybe there's grant money available for extrication tools and stuff like this, and talk to her, but them in between, and get some prices.
Table this for the
Revisit
next
it
meeting?
at the next meeting.
Get some ideas, because we do have a call in for the grant writer to ask a question, and we don't have an answer yet for her. So to bring it up to you that we're looking into this aspect.
I like the idea of using compatible equipment because then we can replace less batteries, as those batteries are really expensive.
Yes, they are.
All right, under old business, Squad 14 is currently out of service. It's at K&D right now being repaired. The airline system is what went out on it. They finally figured out that's the problem, which was causing it to pull. And so we took it out of service.
Squad 14 is our ambulance, for anybody that didn't know 14. It's the ambulance, part of the air ride suspension went bad on the pump. The pump had to be ordered from a Kelderman company name, it's in Iowa, Kelderman. It came in this afternoon, and I talked to him about 4 o'clock and came in, and he was pulling his squad in to start working on it. We'll probably have it back tomorrow. He was gonna work on it tonight and come in the morning and finish it, so we should have our ambulance back in service in the morning.
Did you ever get the steering fixed on that thing?
What's that?
The steering?
No, it's air ride suspension in the back. The dryer and air ride, the air suspension wasn't building up at all. We took, when Mandy filled up the air tank back there to 90 or 100 pounds, good as new. However, it won't.
Every time they open the doors.
Every time you open the door, the squad's supposed to lower, and then when they close the door, it's supposed to raise back up. We can't generate air, so it wasn't doing that. So eventually, there was no air at all in the air ride set suspension in the back. So that's where it's at, and that will correct the problem.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay, under old business, I did do some more research on the clock system that we brought up a while ago. I have spoken with Kristy about it to make her job easier. We did end up finding, and it's in your packet as well, a time clock that will be a one-time fee and it automatically sent to a computer. The price is through Crown Security Products, and it's a one-time price of $489. So we finally found one that we thought would work in our system.
And this isn't something that it's so much a month for each employee or anything, that's a one-time purchase.
One-time fee.
Have you talked to Kristy about it?
Correct.
Well, you think that'll work, that'll help you guys out in your
Absolutely.
reports and everything? I'll make a motion, we purchase that time clock.
What's the pros and cons?
I'll second that.
Any downfalls to the system that we would have shortfalls with?
But I think we still need to have a process in place for somebody to review the time, to make sure, sign off on it, to make sure that people are signing, clocking it out appropriately, but otherwise, I think it's good for everyone.
Okay.
Second.
Yes.
Roll call, Tiffany.
Yes.
Ed.
Yes.
Mark.
Yes.
So we'll completely eliminate the scheduling issue, but just streamline
Not so much the scheduling part of it, but the payroll part.
the payroll part.
Yeah, scheduling, we'll look into it at a different time. Scheduling on the computers, like we talked about.
Okay.
Under old business, the other thing, all the trustees have a copy of the policies and procedures that were reviewed by Chief Day and myself, and we feel with everything with the help of everything we did prior, you know, getting everything, we figured that's the best that we can come up with right now.
I did have a chance to go through there, this is the final draft, correct? I'm making a motion, we accept it.
Well, did you have a chance to read them over and stuff yet?
I
I
did.
got mine and I did, and
There were some changes. Can you talk about some of the changes that were made to the previous policy? Because I had some questions about those.
Honestly, I think refer that to Chief Day.
you want to ask any
he's gonna
specific
come in
questions?
next
or-
one.
Yeah, because
He's
like,
coming to the next meeting too.
okay, I mean, I'm all for getting this in
Right.
place and getting this going. There were quite a few changes to the old policy, like one of which was in 3.2 about not relaying straight to the fire station during calls unless it was directly on your way to vote. There were just a lot of changes that I think were kind of hot topic issues that, you know, I had some questions about.
Okay, we can put him up.
Table it, the next meeting?
Chief Day will actually be here. He's working tonight. He was gonna try to find coverage.
Okay. I didn't see any issues with the new policies. It was just some of the old ones that were adjusted. I wasn't expecting to see some of those changes. So, I don't want to table this anymore, but I guess until the next meeting, we can finalize that.
I'm okay with that, I'll make a motion. You've got a motion to table until
Table
next
it
meeting?
until the next
I'll second that.
next meeting.
Since
Yes.
there's questions, and the one of the guys worked out was going to come and explain it to us at the next meeting.
Right.
Yes.
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 Okay, under apparatus part of it, we did discuss the squad being out of service. Truck 14, which is the crush unit, we do now have them up on it with water, works great. Tested it. The only thing we're gonna have to eventually do to that truck is look at shocks, because way before this, they were rusting out, so it's coming to the point whenever Candy looks at the truck, he can say, probably gonna need shocks, it's just whatever he tells us when the time comes. They are starting to get rusty. Captain Carros, would you wanna explain about the ATV since that's your project?
Okay, when the side-by-side mule was purchased, it was purchased camouflaged. Okay, we're looking at changing it from camouflage to being all red, being a fire department apparatus. Gary here with the town, the road department, had called over to, what is it, Johnny K's?
Yep.
In Niles, and they said they can get all the plastic that we need for that thing for, what, $950? Right around $1,000. To make it red instead of camouflage.
Right. Well, I'm for that, but now the camouflage ones, then we could probably have skin, or whatever you want
On
to
the
call
doors,
that.
on the doors,
That way
correct.
we would have a backup set, 'cause that's gonna, if we're taking off road, we could bust the front, we could bust the side.
We could
We could take
use
the
those.
camo and just have it, what do you call that stuff?
Wrapped.
Wrapped.
Yeah,
That way we'd have a backup set.
correct.
I mean, I'm okay with that.
I'm not opposed to doing that, but we just spent a lot of money
That's a
today
lot
for the
of
fire
money.
department. Let's regroup here, see what kind of money we have to spend, because there's some stuff we're gonna have. I wanna make sure we have enough money to get everything we need before we maybe go down route right there. I think we do, but we just approved a lot of money tonight, so.
And that doesn't keep us from using it, it's just a want, not a
Right.
need.
So that's my opinion. I'd like to wait and check and see if we do have the money to do it.
In your package as well is a list of expired or old equipment that is no longer being used. We brought this up at the last meeting, but I brought the list of items now that we'd like to take out of service.
It's a big list.
It is, and there's a lot upstairs in the room, there's stuff in there that probably hasn't been out there in 20 years. went through it. Like, we have Scott bottles, and we don't even use Scott products anymore, we use MSA. So they're no use to us, we can interchange them.
I'm okay with getting rid of all this stuff. I would ask though that anything that's metal, brass, copper, anything like that, that has value that we can sell for scrap to recover any type of money we can, I would ask that we do that. But I'm okay with getting rid of this stuff. But anything that has a value to it, is there anything on there that's a value another department might need, or is this, most of this is just old stuff that's been there forever?
Well, the last 4 items are items we have listed as donatable items. We can donate to a department that might still use Scott, or a new department coming in doesn't have the money to afford it. So kind of went through and looked at things, so.
It's a lot of stuff. You're gonna have to do it in small amounts or get it in the dumpster.
Yeah, there's, like you said, everything's but some of the stuff like.
Yeah, because our nozzles, brass.
Some of them aren't.
Well, I'll make a motion that we can go ahead and discard these things, donate, discard, and scrap as appropriate.
I'll second.
I'll vote yes.
Do we have to do a separate resolution that's no longer of use to the township? Or is that all part of it?
Do we have to do a whole resolution?
For every
Deeds
item?
No
No,
longer
for-
of use to Deerfield.
We don't have to do individual items, right?
I don't think so, but I think don't we have to have a resolution?
So,
Deed that is no longer of use to
Yeah.
the township?
yeah, we do have to declare that these are no longer of use or value to the township. We do have to do that.
We'll do that for next meeting, then have
Yeah,
a resolution.
yeah,
ready
we'll
for
have a
next meeting.
resolution ready for next meeting, and then we'll approve actually getting rid of stuff. How's that? Will that work?
Yeah, I think you just have to say that these are items. no longer-
I'll make a motion that we prepare a resolution to the fact that this is of no use or no value to the township any longer, and we can proceed with scrapping it.
I'll second.
Yes,
Roll call, Tiffany.
Yes.
Ed.
Yes.
Mark.
yes.
The last thing we have an application for a new person on the department. If you would, I made a copy of it and a side note for you guys to look at, review, figure out what you'd like to do. The side note will explain everybody's.
Mr. Keller, yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Would you speak on this?
What's that?
Would you speak on this?
What is it?
Recommendation for this person for the fire department, Cheyenne? You were here before. What is your recommendation? She be a good fit? I know she was on the department before. I don't remember why she's not there now. I know there's some issues came up, however it was several years ago. I think she has a firefighter 1 card now
An EMR.
and an EMR certification. She lives in the township.
I think she would be a great fit for the department. She's certified, she's willing to learn, and willing to help the community out. You know, what she did in the past, happened in the past, we all make mistakes, and we need to just move on from those mistakes that happened 9, 10 years ago. So,
Did she leave on good terms?
that I don't want to.
Not necessarily, but
Well, maybe we should table this and
But
investigate.
there was other members that are here now that didn't on good terms and are here now. So, everybody deserves a second.
yeah, we have given second chances in the past.
That's what probationary period is for.
That's
If they
true.
screw up in a year, we get rid of them.
I know I've talked to her a little bit, she was very eager to come on. I personally think she'll be a good fit for our department. We do have a probationary period. She's willing to, I know she's willing to work, she lives close to the fire department.
I don't even know what happened before, but if that's been resolved and she's on probation and she knows the expectations.
It has been resolved, and this is one of those situations where you make a mistake down the road, you better yourself, you correct yourself, you make changes in your life, you deserve a second chance, I think, and I'll make a motion that we accept her under probationary period based on that and Mr. Kellerhouse's recommendation.
And if she screws up, let's take my foot up her butt and move it on.
I'll
We
second.
don't promote violence.
It was a joke.
Yes.
Sorry.
Well,
Roll call, Tiffany.
Yes.
Ed.
yes.
Mark.
Yes. That's what you got, Fire?
All right, along with the fire department, we do have 2 letters of resignation. I will read the names. One is Brianna Westover. We'll handle them individually. There is a letter here. Again, it is a letter of resignation. A whole lot of stuff in there. I don't know if we're required to read all that or not, so I will make a motion that we accept her resignation, and I will check with the prosecutor. If we are required to read this at the next meeting, I will read this in its entirety.
I have a question on that resignation. Did we not just pay for her classes?
What's that?
Did we not just pay for classes for her?
Yes, we did. We just agreed to pay $750 for dive school for her. She hasn't worked any hours since then, and now she's resigned.
But didn't you also pay for her EMT too?
The SAFER grant paid for that, and with the SAFER grant, it is designated that you can't require people to stay on the department for any amount of time. It's a federal grant. It's for the betterment of the member. It's an enticement to get them to come and work, but legally we cannot require them to stay on the department for any amount of time, and we're using those SAFER grant funds. So that was to her betterment, it's for recruitment. Unfortunately, that there's no rules that we can apply to that.
Where that came from.
I'll second the motion on the,
A second to resignation.
Yes.
Okay.
Roll call, Tiffany.
Yes.
Ed.
Yes.
Mark.
yes.
And we have a second letter of resignation. The employee's name was Tiffany Beeson. She was also effective immediately. It was dated 8/14/2023. Notify your resignation for Deerfield Fire Department effective immediately. I'll make a motion that we also accept Tiffany Beeson's letter of resignation under the same circumstances. I will check if these need to be read at the next meeting. I will read that.
I'll second.
Yes.
Roll call, Tiffany.
Yes.
Ed.
Yes.
Mark.
Yes.
And thank you, Brianna and Tiffany, for the time you spent
Yes.
helping Deerfield. Thank you.
Yes. Anything else for the fire department? You guys got anything for fire department additional?
Are we addressing any of this today? I guess not. That's fine.
Buildings and grounds and roads. I know right now you guys are out patching roads and everything, preparing for chip and seal. Our chip and sealing was supposed to be done second week of September. They let us know Friday if they want to come midweek and do the chip and sealing. Well, we've had one employee off for 6 or 7 weeks. That's 50% of our road crew. We're not going to be prepared. I have a call in to them. I'm going to let them know tomorrow morning when they call me back that we are not going to be prepared to let them move forward the chip and seal. They're going to have to come back real close to the regular scheduled time, so we have time to get that done. I know you guys are out today, but we're going to get rain tomorrow. We're not going to be able to do all that, so.
No. It was originally scheduled for September 22nd, wasn't it?
Our roadside mower that was hit and damaged 6-7 weeks ago, one insurance company has made a determination that it is repairable. They are actively seeking someone that can repair it. They're talking to Akron Tractor right now, trying to get quotes and see if parts are available for it and stuff, so that's kind of on hold until we
see if they can find someone to fix it. If they can't find someone, back to the drawing board, they're gonna have to buy us a new one as far as I'm concerned. They're not wanting to do that, and I understand that, but we didn't damage that, they did. Only this afternoon, about 4 o'clock, I got a email or a text from the insurance company about our gazebo up there. The lady that hit that there they're requesting a copy of a police report, which when we met with them, they said they were gonna get the police report, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Now, they want us to provide the police report, and they also asked if we have quotes for fixing that or replacing it, and when we get them, please forward them to them. So, that's been July 18th, the last contact we had with them. I got that text this afternoon, so I guess back to the drawing board. I guess we'll get some contractors to give us prices on it and repair it. That's been sitting there a long time, so that's where we're at in that. Yes?
Is that repairable?
We don't think so.
It looks.
Anything's repairable if you throw enough money at it. What?
One guy we did have come to look at it just so we knew where we were at. He's a contractor. He built the one in Canfield that they just dedicated, $250,000 gazebo. His recommendation was that it come down and start all over. When that got hit, that building was wrecked that way, and the whole front end would drop down probably 18 inches, maybe more than that. And the time that we got someone to come in and get jack stands to put under and straps to tie it down and bracing to put around the corners and everything. So had we not done that, I would say in 3 or 4 hours, that probably would have been on the ground. Because as we were standing there, we could see it sagging more. So we shorted it up, blocked it off so people can't enter for safety reasons. So back to the drawing board, working on that. We'll call that guy from Canfield and get him some price. Anybody local that we know can build a gazebo, let's reach out to them and get some prices and everything. Not gonna be cheap. All right, I know we have some people from the Civics Association here tonight. They would like a couple minutes of floor time. I'd like to have them step up at this time.
Okay, my name is Tracy Dean. I'm Vice President of the Civics Association, along with Denise Adams. She's President of the Civics Association. We're here on behalf of the Civics. Previous meetings, we've been talking about things that we could do besides just buying tables and chairs and all that. So along with the Civics member, Ed Dean and Gary Blake, we thought about the park, doing something there. So we thought about a pavilion. We thought about our Apple Butter Festival that we had this past year, and it was just a great turnout. So we really need someplace down there to sit. Not only for the Apple Butter Festival, but for the kids playing ball, the soccer, anything that goes on, picnics at the park and everything. So with Ed and I, and Gary, we did a lot of research, a lot of phone calls. We met with the building department, and then we went with Denise and asked her what she thought. And she thought it was a good idea, so we took it to the Civics. The Civics Association voted yes, that we donate money, or we donate the pavilion to the township. Gary and Ed have the specs on what needs to be done. They're going to elaborate on that, and then after that, we are asking the board to accept the Civics Association donation of a pavilion to the township park. Gary? Ed?
He's got the numbers.
All right. This is the only quote we'll get. We looked it over, called some people. Gary emailed these pole barns direct. They're out of Canton, East Canton. Very good company. They built the one down in North Benton down there that Mr. Obrock put up, which, by the way, was about an $80,000 project that he donated to the township. Building department speaks highly of these people. What we came up with, a usable and good size for our park would be 30 foot wide and 40 foot long. Ceilings on the inside would be 10 foot, close to 10 foot, 9.6, 9.8, 10, whatever in there. So with that information, Gary called Pole Barns Direct and gave them our sizes. We want 6 by 6 poles. We want a steel roof on it. We want the ceiling inside covered with steel so that birds can't get in there and make a mess. We don't want any water or electric in it. At this time, there's no reason for it down there. There's a one right where it's gonna be. Our recommendation of where to put it is in front of the other gazebo that's over there, 30 foot away in that grassy area, where our dumpster's at currently. We'll pick that dumpster up and pad it. We'll move that to another place. That area right there will become handicap parking for the pavilion. We have to provide hard surface handicap parking since it is a public building. So we looked at doing that. Initially, we thought about putting it up on the hill where our old playground was and everything right there. It's gonna cost us a lot more money putting road into it, putting sidewalk into it, so we kind of come up with that idea down there. We can tweak it, but I think that's a good place to put it. We had the gas lines located just so we know we could do it there, and we had to move it 2 foot from where there is a gas line goes through there. We had to move it 2 foot north. Everything else is the same as what it is. Pole barn correct, 5-year warranty. 11 to 13 weeks is what they're quoting to start in this. However, they said this is such a small job that if they finish up a job, if we pull the plug on this, and along with this, we do have to get engineered blueprints. So the Civics agreed to pay for the blueprints fees, $1,500 to $1,800 on top of the pavilion. Contacted a guy in Ravenna that works for the Portage County Building Department all the time. He actually designed Atwater's pavilion they have down there. It passed through the building department first pass, so no problems up there. I contacted him. He's agreed to do this for us. He's on vacation this week. If we agree to accept this donation, he gets back vacation, he'll have our print to us one day next week to take to the building department.
So it might be possible to have it.
We're hoping we can have it before the Apple Butter Festival. We can't guarantee it. We're hoping very much we can. It would be nice to have it before that. Now, if we do this, the Civics has agreed to pay for it. If we do this through the township, the fee to look over the blueprints and get an approval is $206 for the first time. And if you fail it, it's $206 the next time. However many times, it's $206. If we do that, if we take a township check with us when we go to take the prints in, that is cut in half to 50%. The commissioners made all the local governments half price in any building project or anything. So we talked to the Civics, they would make a monetary donation to the trustees up front so we could get some of this preliminary stuff done if we approve this. Pole barn correct pricing, and this may change a little bit depending what the blueprints come. They may have to add something they don't have, but they're quote 30 by 40 steel roof, the whole shot, everything we've talked about, $20,784.64. Now that is the building only. Cement in that, we have a local guy that does all our cement work. We got a price of $6,600 for cement. So we're talking $32,000 here. Engineering fees, architectural fees, cement, building, the whole shot. Our Civics are offering to donate that, build that and donate it to the township.
Well, I'm gonna make the motion that we accept it.
Wow. I'll second.
And I will absolutely vote yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, along with this, we talked to the Civics about we need playground equipment and stuff over there. That's quite an expensive proposition over there. Said we could get $60, $70, $80, $100,000 real quicker in playground equipment over there. I did, and along with Gary, we got quotes on playground equipment done. I just want to give you guys to look over. It's about $68,000 for a proposal I got. Doesn't mean we got to go with it. And if we do decide to go with this, I would like to ask our grant writer to pursue a grant from the Ohio Department of Natural Resources for playground equipment over there. There is money available for that grant. I think we have a good chance of getting it. We were going to apply for a grant before, 5, 6, 7 years ago. At that time, we were a single-use park. All the park was used for was baseball. ODNR would not give a grant based on a single-use park. Since that time, There were some legal issues come up, held us up. We would have addressed this earlier. Those legal issues are all done, all resolved, everybody's happy. So now we have baseball over there, we have soccer over there, we have softball over there, and we have the Apple Butter Festival over there. I think based on that criteria, I think we can get a grant to put playground equipment over there.
Baseball and soccer went really well this year.
Yes, it did.
They all worked really well, sharing the field. Their attendance was up, the participation was up. It was a good season.
So I called the grant writer to see what we had to do that. She said she needs dollar amounts to pursue a grant. That's why I got this. It's two separate things right here. There is a blueprint in the back, where to go, what they are. There's pictures on the back of it, of the different things that would be there. These are a playground installer. They know how to put in playgrounds to meet government standards for safety and all that stuff. So, what do you guys think about asking for our grant writer to do that?
Is there a specific grant that you're aware of that we can go for?
She said there's no Ohio Department of Natural Resources grant is what she told me. She said there is money available. She feels we have a good chance once we get a dollar amount and prints for her to pursue this. But before we talk about this, we've been asked several times to put a pickleball court in. The Civics was actually asked to put a pickleball court in. Anybody know what pickleball is?
Now.
Like tennis.
Fastest growing sport in the United States. Every retirement community in the country has pickleball courts that are backed up for hours and days to get on the board. We were asked to do that. That's going to come in. We figure somewhere around 17,000 if we would do everything they're asking us to do.
Can't a pickleball court be multi-use? It could be a tennis court, it could be used for pickleball, it could be used for multiple things.
We have someone going to come to the civics meeting, next civics meeting, and explain the pickleball, what it has to be, what it can be, what they would like it to be, and all that stuff that you just said right there, to be a multi-use thing.
Right.
So rather than,
Lake Association.
yeah, that afternoon, he's coming to the next meeting. So rather than ask for just playground equipment, I'm going to ask the grants writer if you guys are okay. Do we roll a pickleball court in on top of this, or do we ask her to do a separate grant for a pickleball court? I don't know.
I don't know what all at once.
I don't know what the answer is.
Whatever she says she's most likely to get.
That's exactly what I think we should do, but I need to bring it before the board and everything to move forward.
Have you spoken to Dee Dee about fees for something like this?
No, she said get a design and call her, and then we'll sit down and talk about fees.
Okay. And usually, if it's something we wouldn't get, she would roll that fee into another grant. Is that still the case?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think it was before she didn't get it the first time, she does it a second time for no additional charge.
Yeah.
She indicated that was still on the table. So, but she's made no movement forward with this because I didn't know if you guys want to do it or if you had a different idea of what we wanted to do. But we've been talking about playground equipment a long time over there. I just think it's an opportunity since the Civics is going to donate all that money that we try to move forward and get some stuff done at the park forthwith.
I'm okay with it.
I think it's a great idea.
So,
So I'll make a motion that we contact our grant writer, Dee Dee, present this to her, talk to her about the pickleball court, and ask her if we can roll it all into one and move forward with it.
I'll second.
yes.
You want a roll call?
No, roll call.
Sorry about the
Yes.
longevity.
Yes.
Kristy went to
Yes.
sleep.
I got you back, thanks.
I don't have anything else to bring before the public. You guys got anything?
I know.
Motion to adjourn meeting with pay bills.
Second.
Thank you very much to the Civics Association.